Hello people and welcome back to another random issue video. As always, I will be talking about a random issue of a comic that I really like and just kind of rambling on about my thoughts about it. Today I'm talking about Giant Size Fantastic Four issue 4. And yes, it's another Fantastic Four video, because I've been reading Fantastic Four, and because I like the Fantastic Four. I find this issue to be really fun. I don't think it's anything super groundbreaking. I don't think it does anything super new with the team, but it's very enjoyable in my opinion. I also believe it's the first time oh no, I'm wrong. I just remembered something. I was going to say it's the first time the Fantastic Four fight a mutant, but I'm wrong. They do fight Magneto in a issue with the help of Namor. This comic heavily focuses on the introduction of the character Madrox and him fighting the FF. To be honest, this story is more about his character than actually anything to do with the Fantastic Four. I don't mind that, I think his character is actually quite interesting as we slowly can learn about his past and how he isn't really a villain, he's more just kind of confused and clearly has been through a lot due to him being a mutant. Also, his overall costume design I quite like. It's very kind of simple, it's nothing very standout, but something about it just comes off quite unique. Also, his powers are very fun. I think the biggest problem is the comic clearly kinda struggles to make him strong enough to fight the Fantastic Four. Like, I think the power to make multiple copies of yourself is strong, but the Fantastic Four have fought much stronger characters, so it's very clear the comic was struggling to make sure Madrox could go up against characters like the Thing. Obviously, due to time period this comic came out, Medusa is a member of the team, because for a while Medusa replaced Sue Storm, and she's fun. I very much don't mind Medusa as a character, and I even quite like her on the team, but it always does feel weird whenever Sue is not also there. Also, Johnny Storm is wearing his red costume in this. A costume I don't like. I think it looks bad and just, it doesn't work. I get it's a nod to the original Human Torch. I think it looks ugly in those colours. I will say though, I do think the overall art in the comic is good. I think there's some really good panels in this, and I'll put them up on screen. But yeah, there's just some really good moments. I even really love the opening page of Ben and Alicia after going to this like football game. It's like a very fun and nice drawing. We also get a pretty okay fight at the end on top of the Baxter building, while the entire city has no power due to Madrox's suit like absorbing energy because it's broken, and the original concept behind the costume was to stop his mutant ability, or at least contain it. But after all the years, it's kinda broken down. I will say, one scene was just so random and kinda out of nowhere, is specifically the scene in this comic with Professor X and a helicopter. Essentially, a helicopter passes by the Baxter building and this beam of light, like from a flying saucer, comes down, and it's moving Professor X down in his wheelchair, but then for no reason, and they don't explain it really at all, halfway it cuts off and he begins to just fall. Luckily, Ben saves him, even though I don't think that's the person you'd want to catch you before you fall, but either way, it's just such a strange moment because they could have tried to get that character onto the building in any other kind of way. Also, if you are an X-Men fan, if you've read X-Men comics, I've only read like barely any, so I can't say I've read a bunch of their stories. Is this a thing he has? Like, does he have a helicopter? What can do this in X-Men? Or is this just something what happens in this story for some reason? Because if it is, I have so many more questions. Because if it was a thing, at least in the X-Men comics, I could at least understand it a bit more. Anyway, Professor X shows up and basically is able to stop Madrox with obviously his telepathic abilities. Like I said, this story isn't anything groundbreaking, but I just found it very fun when I first read it. I also think it is interesting to see Fantastic Four characters interact with X-Men. Obviously, like I said, they have fought mutants before, but it is kind of still very interesting to see them fight a person who clearly, was doing wrong things. He did it more out of confusion and anger. Anyway, thank you for watching. I know this video is quite short and people probably want longer videos, but I don't have much to say other than that, and hopefully some longer videos will be coming out. But yeah, like I said, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, then feel free to like it. If you've read this comic issue, feel free to talk about your thoughts on it. That's all, and goodbye.